Welcome to Not Everything Sucks with Andrew. I'm so glad that we're hanging out on our final week of our first season, which is incredible. It's been a fun summer, and I'm even happier to have with me Sanah Jivani. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited. This is fun.
We are talking about self-love today. We've covered a lot of topics. Nothing we've covered has been quite like this before.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
No, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm also pretty pumped because we're making an avocado smoothie, which we're going to try. So we're going to get live reactions on how we deal with avocados in our smoothies.
I think that's what I'm most nervous about. No, it'll be fun.
I think I am too. So today we have one avocado, maple syrup, lime juice, and coconut water. So we're going to kind of make this whole thing up as we go along.
Exciting.
Awesome. All right. Before we get to that, Sanah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I am currently a student. I'm a senior at the University of Texas at San Antonio. Go Runners.
Right?
No, but I'm double majoring in sociology and communication. Yeah, I love to travel. I love to write. I love hanging out with my friends. I'm a big foodie, so I was actually so excited about this. I was like, wow, this is like, I'm on a food-related show, so that was exciting. But yeah, just honestly love where I'm at, love being a student. I'm going to miss UTSA next year, but it's been a good time.
Tell us about the Love Your Natural Self Foundation and what it is.
Yeah, so the Love Your Natural Self Foundation is actually my nonprofit organization. The inspiration from it really came from my personal story. So when I was 12 years old in the 7th grade, when really all you can think about is fitting in and, making people happy and impressing others, I woke up one morning to find pretty much all of my hair on my pillow. And I will never forget it. I was terrified. I didn't want to look in the mirror. I didn't want to talk to anyone. Even my mom, I didn't go downstairs and talk to her. I called her that morning and I was like, we need to buy a wig. This is never going to work. No one can ever know, and I'm never going to feel beautiful. And that was just how I felt in that moment. And so, I really struggled with that for 2 years. There was a lot of bullying because, people could tell that the wig was fake. And so they would say mean things. There were a lot of rumors going around. Once I learned to overcome it, though, and it took a lot of time and a lot of progress. It wasn't an overnight thing. Once I did learn to overcome it and find that self-love, I just realized what a gift it was and how amazing it was. And I realized that when you have the courage to be who you are, you just automatically inspire other people to do the same. And I knew I had to do something more with that. And that's really where the Love Your Natural Self Foundation was born. We provide self-love and empowerment curriculum to schools all over the nation. Last year we had 136 schools, and this year I'm just hoping to kick off the school year right and have more. But I love what I do. I love that I can teach kids what I wish someone would have taught me at that age.
So you are in undergrad at UTSA.
Yes.
And you have a nonprofit that is extended in countless schools across Texas, the nation, and globally.
Yeah, a couple international schools.
Tell me a little bit about how you as an individual, and being an undergraduate student is by no means not stressful. Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Pretty crazy. Tell me how you are the executive director of this great, positive, inspiring, large nonprofit, and you're a student. How do those things be compatible with each other?
It's funny because when I started college or undergrad, I remember my senior year of high school, I told my mom, I was like, yeah, that's not a thing. I'm not going to apply because I know what I want to do for the rest of my life. I have this nonprofit. I love it. I love its mission. And I feel like, what's more to learn? And I was so naive back then because there's so much more to learn.
Sure.
College has taught me so much, and I've learned so much, and I'm so grateful I came. But I think a couple things about balancing it. one of them was just communication, honestly. I walk into every one of my classes, meet with the professor, usually before class even starts, the semester even starts, and just tell them, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I sometimes struggle to do both, but if you could help me out, I really think it's possible, and I'm going to get everything done. It might be a little different because I travel, but I'm going to put all of my energy into this as well. So that's really good. But I think what's really important more than all the logistical things is just passion.
Sure.
When I have a bad day or when I am really stressed out, working on my nonprofit actually like makes me less stressed. I feel like I'm healing myself. I feel like I just get so much happiness and joy from it. So I don't know, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like something fun I would do on the side. There's a lot of travel involved, and some days I miss my friends and I wish I was here. But I don't know, the moment I go and see cute little middle schoolers and high schoolers, it's just all worth it. So good days and bad days, you just take it one obstacle at a time.
Have you ever cut an avocado?
No, I'm terrified because they have that the thing in the middle.
Would you like to try?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I hope I don't hurt myself on camera by accident, but we'll see.
Well, if you feel to the point where you're not about it, just let me know and we'll stop and I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll just hand it to you.
But what we'll do is we take the avocado, we cut it right there on top. We'll start there, and then you just go around. Just be careful with your other hand or do it on the board. And you're going to cut around the pit. It's not super hard. I believe in you. But if at any point you decide to opt out, I got your back.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so these aren't incredibly sharp knives, so be careful. Okay, awesome. So let it just sink in, and then we're going to cut it all
we
the
go
way
around. Oh, this is easy.
Right? It's not horrible.
Yeah, no, not horrible at all.
Not everything sucks.
Yeah, especially not this.
I'm so incredibly inspired by the idea of loving your natural self, your true essence of who you are. We're gonna twist that open.
Twist it.
Bam.
Oh, there we go.
And then I'll take the core
Oh,
out.
so easy.
Right? Look at that. Perfect. Wonderful. Tell us a little bit about what happens in these chapters of your nonprofit in these schools. Like a kid walks into this chapter, this organization. What do they experience? What do they hear? What do they see?
Yeah, so the first semester, it's really focused on student leaders because I started this when I was 15 years old, and I truly believe that students and young people have this immense power to change the world, and they're often not given enough credit or opportunity.
Sure.
So I want students to lead this initiative. I can give them the resources, but I want them to be on the ground and really making this happen at their campus. So I give, a group of student leaders a curriculum, which first focuses on self-love. So they practice self-love. They learn what those skills mean. They really learn to love themselves and make peace with themselves. And then their next challenge is, okay, now that you've made peace with yourself, let's make peace with the world. So first semester is all about those student leaders finding self-love. And then second semester is about student leaders hosting a day of self-love for their school. So they'll take these skills they've learned through my curriculum and teach them to their peers. And so it really gives them a leadership opportunity to speak, to event plan, to host a day. The day of self-love looks different on every campus. I give them things that past schools have done, but they bring it to life. They come up with their own ideas. They come up with, they'll have photo booths. They'll fundraise and have photo booths come in. They'll make t-shirts. One school recently did a uniform, YOU, and they had white shirts where they wrote, their insecurity, and then they had their friends sign it. And I didn't come up with any of that. It's these amazing student leaders who come up with these ideas and bring this day to life. So, there's no template. It's just I give them the resources, they bring it to life, and then when I get the opportunity to, I'll go host an assembly, usually at some point throughout the year. So I can't go to every school every year being a student, but I can go to a handful each year, and that's always a pleasure.
So you said something very interesting. You said practice self-love. If you could describe what that is in the most condensed, purest sense of that term, what does it mean to practice self-love?
I think it looks different for everyone, but I think one of the key messages you can get from that is that self-love is a practice. It's not something that you wake up and like, you know, when you think about my story, you know, and I have to tell it really quick, I think the turnaround sounds fast. Like she struggled a lot with herself. She woke up and decided she wanted to go without her wig. Everything was great. But that's not how it is. It's not that simple.
Sure.
You know, just like to be healthy, you need to work out, you need to eat healthy. Like there's things that you need to do for your mental health and self-love that are truly a practice. You need to, you know, say kind things to yourself. You need to refute any negative thoughts you have. You need to take a break. You know, like my life can get really, really crazy and I love what I'm doing, but just because I love it doesn't mean I'm, you know, I'm still human and I have to sit down and take days off. You need to listen to yourself and your body. Like, so I think it can look different for everyone, but just remember that it is an active effort. You know, I have days where I feel amazing and beautiful and like the best person in the world. And I have days where I wake up and I feel like I'm back in the 7th grade, what happened? And so I think you just have to understand it's like a practice. There's good days and there's bad days and there's everything in between and you just work through it the best you can.
Are you ready to make some avocado smoothies?
I'm excited, yeah.
Okay, so we have 1/2 of the avocado. So we're actually only using a half today. We're going to grab, if you could hand me the coconut water in the can. We're going to open this up. Ooh. I've never tasted or had coconut water, so this smells pretty good. If you can,
I like coconuts.
If you can pour a cup of coconut water into the pitcher, we'll start coring or getting this avocado out of its skin. All right, and then we're going to also have 1 teaspoon of fresh lime juice. So that over there, what you can just kind of eyeball it and squeeze it out of that and kind of get it going. Yeah, I've just recently got that. Yeah, fresh ingredients. Because that's how we do it. Nothing is ever pre-prepared here. Maybe we dice something up beforehand, but for the most part, we do all our stunts. Do all our own stunts. I got it. Don't worry.
I was gonna say, yeah, my nails are kind of.
Sanah's over here. Sanah's like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling. Please help me. I got you. Perfect. And we'll put this back on.
Here you go.
So now that we have the lime juice ready to go, I'll go ahead and kind of just. So I should not ever
I think that's...
squirt my guests with lime juice. I'm so sorry.
No,
you're the towel.
I'm so good. Don't worry about it.
So we're gonna just put that in the pitcher and not on
Gotta keep things fun.
Wow, that was incredibly embarrassing. I apologize
profusely. You're so good. You're so good. I thought it was funny.
Sanah's over here like, hey, I'm going to do this podcast with this guy about avocados and things not sucking, and things sucked. It was terrible.
No.
And then we're actually going to have agave syrup. So there's some agave syrup on the other side. If we get up, we're going to start putting this in the blender, and that agave syrup, we're going to bring that over and let everything kind of play together in the blender. And this is going to work. And I believe it because it has to. We're going to... Oh, this one has see, I buy all these fresh ingredients and I forget to take off the peelings and the caps. And here we go. We're going to put some agave syrup or nectar into the pitcher. We're going to just put our avocado in there because we're pouring it all into the blender. And we're going to see how this rolls. This could be great. This could be horrible. Who knows? We're going to give it a shot. Let's go. So we're going to put it into our blender. There goes the avocado.
Looks solid.
So this is probably going to be 1 serving. And we're definitely going to try it before we put any more. So there's a pulser here. So
yeah, I think
we're going to find where that is. Well, this is very quiet and peaceful.
Yeah.
This is not at all super loud. Okay. What do you think?
It looks pretty good.
It looks pretty good.
Looks like a smoothie.
Looks like a smoothie. Let's see if it tastes like one too. Oh my, this is different. I'm going to pour a little bit for us because I'm not going to lie, Sanah, this is pretty disgusting looking. Yeah, no, I have my doubts about this. All right.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay, so we'll go back over here to sit down and
I like
hang
want to
out.
smell it.
I'll taste it first, and if it tastes horrible, I'll let you know. I'll let y'all know, and I'll save us all from a horrible smoothie. I don't know why I'm nervous about this. Here we go. It's not bad.
That's a great review.
I'm not gonna lie, it tastes a little healthy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Okay, try it. It's not bad. You're not gonna be disgusted.
No, I actually like it.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Yeah.
I think if you like put sugar in it, it would taste sweeter. But it's not. It doesn't suck.
Not at all, actually. That's true. I almost want to like start experimenting and like try this at home and add other fruits. I feel like you could do a lot with it.
I definitely feel if there's one thing we did today was experiment.
It has a lot of potential. It's really good. It's really good.
It's the most positive thing I've ever heard. What I'd like to do now is kind of dive in a little deeper. I like to call this buckling up, right? Just buckle up and go in. What stops people from loving themselves?
I think it's a variety of things. I think one of the main ones that I think often we don't acknowledge is how much society plays into that. And I think that sounds cliche, but I just want for a minute for us to start like brainstorming about like the negative stigma surrounding self-love. Like for example, if you walk up to a group of friends and you say, I feel so fat today, that almost feels natural. I can't, think of how many friends have said that. And, we try to hype them up and encourage them, but it does feel like a natural thing. It doesn't feel weird that they said that.
Yeah.
Versus if you were to walk up to a group of friends and say like, I'm beautiful and I'm fabulous, it almost sounds funny because it's like we're not used to hearing that.
It's true.
Same with the test. Like before I take a test, often like I can't help it. I don't know what brings it about, but sometimes I just think like, oh, I'm so dumb, I'm going to fail. But you would never turn to your neighbor and say that. And so, again, it sounds silly, but I think we just don't realize that we've been taught to be so kind to others, but we don't like think about being kind to ourselves often. And I think that's important. And I think it shouldn't be so stigmatized. Like, words like selfish, conceited have such a negative stigma. Whereas I think self-love is so beautiful and pure and amazing in what it is. And we just need to start creating a culture where self-love is okay and accepted and, encouraged.
What is the difference between self-love and conceit?
I've actually been asked this question before at a middle school assembly, and I was so impressed by the kid. But again, kids constantly amaze me because it caught me off guard. I was like, what is that difference? What is that distinction? Because I think it's important. And I think I thought about it a little bit, and I think self-love looks like I love myself, and I'm amazing, and you are amazing too. And I'm happy that you're amazing, and I'm happy to celebrate you, and I'm happy to celebrate myself. And I think being conceited looks like I love myself, and I'm doing well, but I look at you, and I want to do better. And it's like this sense of like jealousy and competition. And I think like if you are feeling that you haven't found like the purest form of self-love, because I think self-love looks like, you're so content with yourself and you're so happy with yourself that like there's no room to not celebrate others. You're just so happy and excited to also celebrate others. And I think it's beautiful when it looks that way.
Given your experiences, your expertise on what it means to be fulfilled, your perspective, I'm curious about asking you about other things. So I'd like to ask you about 3 or 4 questions, all in the same tone, to hear your perspective.
Yeah, of course.
What is peace?
So one of the biggest mottos of my organization, which I mentioned earlier that goes into the curriculum as well, is you have to make peace with yourself and then bring peace to the world. And I've been asked a lot, do you think that your organization somehow ties to a more peaceful world? Because when you think about, um, you know, what brings peace, people think of like basic needs like safety and education. But self love is never even near on that list. And
Sure.
I think we don't often think about that. But I think it's so related to peace because I think that when you find this peace and contentness and happiness inside of yourself, it's just easy. It feels natural to be a peaceful person and bring peace to the world. Um, when I was going through all of these things myself, and when I was going through my hair loss and I was going through a hard time, I didn't wake up every day thinking, what can I do for others, or how can I help others, or how can I create a more peaceful world?
Hmm.
But when all I was focused on was like, I hate myself and I can't stand it and I can't get past this and I'm never going to be okay. And, the world's not okay. The world is cruel. And, like everything was just so negative. But once I found like that love inside myself, I wake up loving, everyone and everything else a little bit more. And I think that's how it contributes to peace. Like I truly think that when you find peace inside yourself, you just automatically spread peace to the world.
What is joy?
Joy to me, I think, can be best defined by an experience. Um, it sounds dramatic, but when I remember so clearly the first day I went without my wig, and I remember I walked outside, and again, like I just literally felt like the birds were chirping and the sun was shining, and I felt like I could breathe for the first time in months. Like I felt like I was like holding my breath this whole time where I was hiding and wearing my wig. I felt like I was holding my breath. So like that feeling was joy, like feeling the sun on my head and feeling the wind, and knowing that even if people stare, even if people say mean things, I am so happy being who I am. And I think that is joy, and I think it's so special. And I think I realized how special it was in the moment that that's really is what spurred the nonprofit. Like I think joy is a rare feeling, sadly, and I think everybody deserves it. And I can't describe it. I love it. I love it.
So that's a nice segue to my third question.
Mm-hmm.
What is love?
So the day for this International Day of Self-Love that I was referring to was no coincidence. It was chosen very strategically.
Mm-hmm.
It actually takes place February 13th, which is the day before Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Because I say you have to like love and appreciate yourself before loving others. And I don't know, then when you think about what love means, like what does it truly mean to love yourself? I think when people think about me, they think like, oh, self-love expert, she's got that in the bag. It's probably easy for her by now. But I think, if anybody, if you think about being in any relationship, it's hard. And same with the
Sure.
relationship with yourself. It's like not easy. There's days, like I said, I wake up feeling like the most amazing person in the world. And there's days that I wake up and all I can think about is everyone staring. And all I can think about is what if someone says something. I have days where someone will make a comment and I'm so totally okay with it. I'm like, yeah, no big deal. Like I can move past this. And there's days where that destroys me. And I think that you have to realize that love isn't perfect, but that's what makes it beautiful. Like I think love is this just messy, crazy, exciting, beautiful thing for yourself and for others. Like, any relationship has its ups and downs, but no matter what, you have so much faith in it anyway. And I think that's what love looks like.
You introduce a very different concept.
Mm-hmm.
Your concept of the relationship you have with yourself is not different from a relationship you have with someone else. It needs time, care, work.
Right.
What a powerful message.
Yeah, thank you.
Normally, I ask the question every week to a wonderful guest who sits where you are. What doesn't suck?
Mm-hmm.
Today, I don't want to ask that. I want to ask a different question. Sanah, what is hope?
So I think coming from a place and knowing what it's like to feel totally hopeless, I can bring kind of a unique perspective on that because I was truly struggling so much. I was feeling really suicidal. I was struggling with self-harm. And I remember every day just waking up and feeling like there was no hope left in me, in the world, in anything. And I hit rock bottom, and I felt like I said, something's gonna change, or I'm not gonna make it. Like, I can't fight this any longer. And I had nowhere else to look. I had tried everything. I had talked to everyone. I had nowhere else to look, nothing else to have faith in except myself. And I hadn't done that in a long time. So I found hope inside myself. And at that time, I didn't have many people surrounded by me. Like, I didn't keep close connection with my friends. But I think to this day, when I'm struggling a lot, I try to find hope inside myself. But I have an amazing network of friends. So sometimes I find hope in other people, and I find hope, in individuals doing amazing things, hope in things like this show and hearing about what people are doing. Because I think the essence of hope is that it comes from people. And I think that's exciting and beautiful. And if you ever run out, know that there's so much hope inside of you, so much hope in this world, so much hope in others. And I know it may be difficult to see, but there is. And, I had to get through a hard time to know that, but I truly believe that there is.
Your words, your thoughts, and your intentions bring healing to others. They bring healing to your community, to your circle of influence, to everyone who's in or around the nonprofit. I'm so grateful for you and people like you and people who listen and take hold of your message and spread it, because the idea of self-love is something that desperately needs to be spread, because there's a lot of things in this world that suck.
Yeah, no, it's hard, but it's so worth it.
Cheers.
This
with
is
our
good.
Avocado smoothies.
I actually am really about it. It's really easy too. There's like 4 ingredients.
Coconut water, agave nectar, lime juice in the pitcher, not on the guest. An avocado and a blender. It all makes sense.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Thank you again.
Of course. Happy to be here.
Not everything sucks, and I'm glad we talked a lot about what in our world and what in our people in this world doesn't. We will see you